Hi everyone, my name is John over at College Scooters and Cycles. Today I want to give you a brief overview of all the great things you can do to make your 49cc Chinese scooter a lot faster. Let's dive in. Before you attempt any performance upgrades, make sure that you at least check your local laws to make sure you're not breaking them. With that said, we're going to dive right in. The number one thing that most people ask us is what's the best bang for my buck? And a lot of people come to the answer CDI. Well, we found that the CDIs don't really do much to restrict the actual overall performance of the motor. What we recommend going with is a big bore kit right off the bat. We bump up to a 72cc kit, which usually is about 47 millimeters. We go with the ones that come with a replacement, basically cylinder head. So this is a stock head, but it's new. It comes with the kit. You never know how worn the last head is, especially if it's a previously used bike, so it's always good to go with a new head. We recommend parts like these from a company called NCY. It's a Taiwan-based company. If you can't get NCY, go with the brand the same as your scooter. So if you can find a Bintelli kit like we use and sell here, go with the Bintelli kit. Usually you'll pass on manufacturer warranty in some cases too. Usually these kits come with everything you need, including the cylinder head, the piston, the rings, and all the other little goodies that you need to install the kit. From there, two things you want to pair with your bore kit are a magnetic oil drain bolt. What this does is it pulls the engine shavings that are going to be happening when the motor is breaking in down and away from the moving components. Keeps the motor clean, helps it run basically better and longer. This is 10, 11 bucks, real easy upgrade. From there, you definitely want to go with an engine decompression tube. Replaces your dipstick, so if there's any blowback associated with the bore kit, which is very common because the compression usually goes up a little bit, this keeps it out of your air intake system to make sure you're running a clean scooter. Alright, so after you've done your bore kit, or if you decide not to go that route, there's two other routes you can take, or you can do both together. One is air and fuel, one is transmission. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to talk about air and fuel first. One of the first things you're going to want to look at is the main jet and the carburetor. You're probably going to want to do a bigger main jet, no matter what, if you do more air or fuel stuff or not. The carburetors run really lean from factory because the EPA sets them that way for emission standards. You're going to want to get a bigger main jet in that carburetor so you get proper fuel to that new big bore kit. From there, a performance air intaker like pod filter fits really well with that main jet. Again, if you go with the pod filter, you may have to go a couple more sizes up on your main jet to provide adequate fuel to the engine. We like the ones from Uni because they have the removable outside filter that you can take off and wash more frequently. From there, we can go with a bigger carburetor. Ones that have a bigger inside dimension on the intake manifold side usually provides less restriction and better airflow. Just overall performance boost by going with one of these. Again, check your jetting. To pair with the carburetor, you can do a performance air intake manifold. What this is going to do is going to provide less restriction, less turbulence to the air, and just an overall better airflow because this inside diameter is also a lot bigger. And to round it all out, an exhaust is a great touch. It's going to provide a good look to the scooter, it's going to provide good sound, but also, more importantly, less restriction, better airflow to basically round everything together and give you a really high quality, high performance bike. Alright, so the next thing you want to look at when it comes to scooter performance is your transmission, and specifically within the transmission, the variator weights. As a rule of thumb, lighter weights create a better acceleration, heavier weights create a higher top end speed. However, you got to think about your riding environment. For example, if you're using a lot of hills on your commute, you're probably going to go with a lighter weight. If it's a lot of flat ground, heavier weights can probably suffice. Just going to take some tuning, okay? After the weights, you probably just want to go with a better quality variator. One from Hoka or NCY is going to do a great job. Basically, the ramps are different angles. It's going to create a better top-end tuning speed for you no matter what your riding conditions are. And last but not least, within your transmission, you want to look at your clutch system. That's the rear pulley as well. Basically, going with lighter components, better quality components, are going to definitely provide better performance for that big bore kit scooter. Something else you can also consider that we don't have currently viewable here is a belt. If you go with a Kevlar belt, something like the Gates brand, definitely a longer lasting belt, definitely better performance in the long run. Okay, so a couple of the last things you want to look at is in your electrical system. Specifically, getting a high performance ignition coil, and pairing that with an NGK Iridium spark plug is a great idea. Combining these two is going to provide better, hotter, more efficient spark, usually better cold starts. It's also going to provide for a complete spark, better burn, which equals better combustion for the motor. Alright, so that about wraps it up for the scooter performance on a QMB 139 4-stroke Chinese scooter. A couple of other things you can look at if you want to take it to the next level. High performance cam, high performance head, maybe also adding some high performance flame decals on the side. Guaranteed to add at least 2 horsepower. Not really, but you're welcome to personalize your scooter however you like. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to look at for scooter performance is your transmission, and specifically within the transmission, the scooter roller weights. Okay, so the next thing you want to look at, Alright, so the next thing you want to look at, Alright, so one of the next things you're going to look at for scooter performance is your transmission. Within the transmission, specifically the variator weights. The weights that come in the scooter are usually round, they're called rollers. They're usually too light or too heavy to adequately basically match up with the bore kit. Okay, that about wraps it up. There's a couple other things you can do to add some performance that we haven't mentioned today. One of those is a high performance cam. Another is a high performance, I forgot completely what it is.